Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Bits and Banter. And as ever, we are gathered here to discuss cricket, specifically T20 World Cup, Pakistan versus India. Just a brief recap of what happened last night. I mean, not that anybody needs that, but anyway, going into the match, Pakistan was 0-12 against India in World Cup tournaments. It was a lopsided losing streak, but the 13th outing turned out to be lucky for it as it put up a solid bowling performance led by the man of the match, Shaheen Shah Afridi, to restrict India to a moderate 152. It could have been a tricky chase, but boy, Pakistan openers, the ebullient Mohammad Rizwan and the ever-classy Babar Azam uncorked their A game to pilot Pakistan to a resounding victory by 10 wickets. It's its first ever win by such a margin against India in T20 internationals. Indian bowlers under the night sky never found any swing or spin. In that sense, the toss that Pakistan won was a crucial factor. To discuss this, we have with us Raj. Raj, good morning.
Good morning.
And we'll be joined by our friends later, some other friends also. But Raj, I'll come to you straight. What do you, I mean, you had some strong things to say about the match because during our discussions in the WhatsApp group, we had some, pertinent points to make. So it's all over to you, Raj.
Nothing much. I would first say that Pakistan deserved to win. They played better. Like Azharuddin used to say, they batted better, bowled better, fielded better. They had to win. So take that out of the picture. I mean, the win was good. Now, my challenge was more to do with the process that Kohli actually talks about all the time, and the fact that we didn't follow the process that he talks about. For me, that was the thing. I expected for starters. Yeah, I expected Ishan Kishan to be playing because there is. I mean, these guys have been going about left-right combinations in Test matches. This is a T20 match. Where did that left-right combination go? I didn't understand. They probably thought, no, two rights are better than one left and one right, whatever it is. That was the other. And second, Bhuvneshwar Kumar has been the weak link, not for India today, but even for his franchise. We have seen him bowl. I didn't really get what was the reason for him to bowl the first over. I think that set the tone of the match, Pala, if you think 1-6, 1-4, and suddenly they were all over the place. So in my mind, at least, I'm sure they would go back and discuss and come back with stronger in next Sunday when we are playing New Zealand, I guess. So for me, I think it was more to do with what you need to do on a regular basis.
The choice of personnel to start off, right?
Yeah, and regular. I mean, see, there are certain things which you do regularly over and over again to sort of get to winning positions, which notice Pakistan did yesterday. Their bowling changes were bang on.
Spot on.
Yeah, right. And batting wise, they didn't leave anything to chance. First over, a 6 and a 4.
Yeah,
so,
that's okay.
And more importantly, I want to say, I'm sure there is one guy sitting somewhere, I don't know, in Pakistan, who is jumping up and down when Pakistan lost to India the first time in a World Cup match. I'm sure you remember Javed jumped up and down and India won the match.
Yeah,
India won the match. Now he'll be jumping
by play against Kiran More. By pretty well known. Anybody who has access to YouTube from those days.
Yes.
And we also welcome Ravi. Good morning, Ravi.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. We were discussing last night's match as ever.
Yeah,
so,
obviously.
Obviously. I'll come to you, Ravi, because, Raj talked of Pakistan openers setting the tone with their, they showed their intent right on the first over. But they were actually helped by the intent that the Pakistan bowler showed. And actually, it happened with the very first over that Shaheen Shah Afridi bowled. That the honing in missile, the Yorker to Rohit Sharma, and the second over delivery to KL Rahul. That was outstanding. Whoever it was, you just have to top off your hats. But it was a terrific delivery, and Shaheen Shah, he was the real difference. Don't you think so?
Yes, obviously, yes. He is actually I'm watching his performances from past few matches versus different nations, like versus New Zealand. He was coming into great shape, and he was the ace bowler for Pakistan. And when I was watching out to him, I was not concerned about any other bowlers before the match. I was only concerned about Shaheen Afridi. I was thinking that this guy will be the key person in this match. If at all Pakistan is going to make some impact. So that the same happened yesterday.
Raj, you would have seen the article by Osman. Osman, who has written an article where Shaheen Shah Afridi apparently has taken 21 wickets out of 61 matches in the very first over. If you are facing the Shaheen Shah Afridi in the first over, be very afraid. That was the article that Osman had written in Cricket.
Yeah.
You would have read that, right?
So I was thinking. I mean, as Ravi was speaking, I was thinking his name. They should change his name to Shaheen Shah Afridi.
Yeah,
Be afraid.
Afraid. Be very afraid.
No, I'll tell you one thing. See, that brings me to another point, which was a matter of process again, which was that I don't think India had a clear plan with batting or bowling, is what I felt. I mean, I might be very harsh, but that is expectable because you have not played Pakistan for ages. You don't know their personnel. You don't. I mean, see, we are watching video reviews is one thing. Playing on the ground and watching, I mean, and getting them out or getting the better of them as a bowler or a batsman or a captain is different. I don't think many of these fellows would have played against each other in the past, right? Like Ravi said, Shaheen Shah Afridi.
Just to give one point, that holds true for Pakistan also, right? Because they all
correct.
But that they managed to execute their plans, isn't it?
Exactly. So no, Pakistan, what they did was they didn't do anything differently. They just did what they have been doing over the last, I think, 6 to 12 months or 18 months since Babar Azam took over as captain. They have been just following a pattern. Again, they're repeating. So Ravi mentioned Afridi, but we forget the other guy who was bowling 148, 150 clicks, who bowled the last 2 overs for 10 runs. Haris Rauf. He bowled last 2 overs for 10 runs.
And for that matter, I mean, because that's because after Shaheen Shah Afridi had taken out the openers and the Indians were on the back foot right on the start. Yeah, that's right. But Rauf was terrific. He never. Then again, he does what you always like. If you are a fast bowler, you better bowl fast.
Bowl fast.
Don't go for the slower ones.
Yeah, I know. And then see, when you are bowling 150 and then 120, there is a change. You can't bowl 130 and 115 and expect the batsman to be fooled here. I mean, come on, they are good batsmen. All of them are.
And we'll welcome Jitendra. Yeah, Jitendra, what could India, I mean, retrospectively speaking, I mean, we are all wise with the hindsight, but what could India have done anything different on that night?
To start off with a better team selection was the first thing that should have been right, because I think we missed on players. We had Hardik Pandya as a pure batsman rather than Shardul Thakur, who was an all-rounder. So he could have given us a bowling option. Exactly, and then we really had very limited bowling options. And then in case of I would be slightly okay in had it been Ishan Kishan played instead of Pant. But then again, that is iffy thing. I would. The biggest thing which they could have done at least is could have tried to stay on the crease. And Rishabh Pant threw it away. He was playing good. He was playing some shots, but then you can't play you can't hit sixes in every game. He hit 2 sixes in the previous over. Next over he again wanted to do that. That is definitely not the way one should play.
But T20, you need to have a move on every third ball. I mean, that's the name of the game, right?
You need to, but then that's your again you need to look at the situation as well. You're already 4 down, and then you only have Hardik Pandya left, and then you're putting extra pressure on Virat Kohli, who was playing fluently rather than going for multiple extravagant shots every over. They could have churned out the strike slightly better. But the biggest yeah, but the
Sorry,
biggest
carry on.
Yeah, biggest point for me was the wrong bowling lineup that they've picked up. The playing 11 should have been much better.
Raj, you had to say something.
Bala, I have a point. Yeah, I had a point. You know what we could have done differently?
Yeah.
We should have followed Baba Ramdev's advice.
Not played.
And not played.
Not played at all. But yeah,
that would have been chicken out.
No, I mean, the point is whether you chickened out or henned out or cocked out. I mean, sorry, bad words in the morning, but then, yeah, it's the same thing, man. But then forget it. I think for me, the gesture of the match happened after the match. I'm sure many of you would have observed that, where Kohli goes and congratulates the batsman and then he hugs Rizwan.
Rizwan.
I think that is the spirit we need to maintain. I'll leave it there. That's what I would say.
I mean, that's a fair point, because at the end of the day, because cricketers know better than us, because they know it is just a match. I mean, forget about the hype. As media, we tend to hype it up. We tend to talk continuously, but at the end of the day, just a match. And I still remember, Raj, you would be remembering when Boris Becker lost to Doohan in that Wimbledon.
Yeah.
He came out after having won 2 Wimbledons the previous 2 years.
Yeah.
He just came out and said, I just lost a match, not a war. Nobody had died out there.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
I think,
I mean, but how do you see? I mean, what are the options for India in the next match? I mean,
I don't see. I mean, I agree with you, Bala. I mean, knee-jerk reactions are not required. Maybe one change here, one change there. See, Hardik Pandya has been a mystery wrapped in an enigma, wrapped in something else. I don't know what he is going to do, how he is going to bat. Kohli came up with a suggestion that, you can't have somebody at number 6. You can't create somebody who's a power hitter, but I think there was no power in his hitting anyways. And after that, he dropped the bat, clutched his shoulders and didn't field. So I really don't know what is happening on that story, which is why you actually put in Shardul Thakur. And weirdest of weird things is our Venkatesh Iyer, who's a one IPL wonder, who could have probably bowled 2 or 3 overs and obviously batted left-right combination at the top. He has been sent back. So I really don't know what is happening. In my mind, at least, Ishan Kishan is not a replacement for Rishabh Pant, but he is in addition to Rishabh Pant. He probably comes in. If you are playing 5 bowlers, you're sticking with 5 bowlers. I think he should be in for Pandya. That is about the only change I would think.
Fair enough. Ravi, your views.
Yes, I was also saying about I would say that actually Ishan Kishan should have been in place of Pandya. Like if you are playing non-performing all-rounder, better to have Ishan Kishan in place of Hardik Pandya. At least you have some power hitting. Maybe he failed, I don't know. But yes, and coming to Hardik Pandya as usual, he's not looking promising, and Shardul Thakur would have been placed. And of course, Shardul Thakur, I don't think so. He's also a hitter. Like he hits, he is on and off. But in bowling, we would have some support. And rest of the team, I think they just failed in using the bowling for the right time. Like, I expected Bumrah should open the bowling, but opened with Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Mohammad Shami. And it's all messed up. Like we had the bowlers, but they didn't come at the right time.
Jitendra, I'll ask you one final question. See, all the 4 matches that we have seen in this business end of the tournament, because this tournament started 4 days earlier, but all the 4 matches have been won by teams chasing. So is it all boiling down to the toss?
Yes, I think dew will be a major factor here. I think that will play a lot of a crucial part in the tournament, and that should not have been the case, but that's how it is.
Yeah. Although I don't know whether Sharjah has the same view or not, because they did win chasing. Sri Lanka did win chasing, so we need to remember that. Unless there is no dew there, I have no idea what the weather condition. So
but that was an afternoon match. So slightly.
And you never know, man. See, they keep saying dew. You never know what comes, what goes. You have no idea there.
But one thing, Raj, I'm really... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, wanted to add to what Raj said earlier. Ishan Kishan was selected as an opener. Ishan Kishan said that, Virat Kohli has come up and told him that you've been selected as an opener and you'll play as an opener. But he's not selected. He's not played as an opener. If he plays at 1 down, you have either Virat Kohli moving down or even have Surya Kumar Yadav moving down, which again is not a natural position for both of them. And then again, there are a lot of selection problems that we have, I think, in this tournament.
Raj, I'll just ask one more question. The bowling looked flat. Though there was nothing to be had or anything, no swing or skill, but it looked also flat. Forget about the paces. You rightly said about Bhuvi being insipid, but our spinners also didn't. They were not impressive last night. So
I'll tell you. I observed. Yeah, I know. I don't think there is a change there. I think it is more to do with something here, because if you noticed, Shaheen Shah, we mentioned Shaheen Shah Afridi. We have been talking about waxing eloquent about him. What did he do? He actually pitched the ball up. it aided swing. I mean, maybe 1 over, 2 overs, 3 overs, there'll be some swing. For some weird reason, our guys were hitting the deck. Opening 2-3 overs. I was surprised. I was saying, what are these guys doing? I just observed it. I said, okay, maybe they have a strategy. Then what happened? Varun Chakravarti opened the bowling and bowled a brilliant first over when they were going very fast. Then suddenly he started pulling back his length for some weird reason because wickets were not on the cards. And then you remember the last 2 overs of Jadeja and Chakravarti. They went for plenty.
Just to add, just addition,
yeah.
because bulk of the runs that Rizwan and Babar scored, they were on the leg side. So we were bowling too straight.
Yes,
exactly.
We were bowling too straight, and we were also bowling. See, Ravindra Jadeja's this thing is he takes the ball away. He was trying to fire in Yorkers, and he was not firing in Yorkers. He was firing Yorkers in the middle of the pitch, which they were very easily going on the back foot and flicking over wherever they wanted. So that is exactly the point. I think they just got worried because wickets didn't fall. Initial wickets. See, I think India's bowling rests on picking up wickets in the power play. Unfortunately, Pakistan did India's job.
But if you also see Raj, the previous practice game, the wickets were picked up by Ravi Ashwin, and he didn't play.
See, the Ashwin story has been beaten to death. I mean, even Ashwin is tired of listening to it, so we don't go there yet. So
no, I'm not talking about Ashwin, but yeah, I'm saying that the
so you're right.
Picked up. Yeah,
I'll agree with you. Jitendra, because see, Ashwin wouldn't have lost his flight even when he is getting hit. That is that. See, he's a test class bowler. No, yeah, he would not have lost his flight. I mean,
but
if you look at the spinners,
going by form, I would still think Varun Chakravarti deserved the nod ahead.
I agree.
It's fair enough.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree that Varun Chakravarti should be the first choice without doubt. See, the point here, Bala, is not about the choice. We need somebody to go and see. Varun Chakravarti, poor fellow, is playing his first big international match. I mean, he was in, out against Pakistan. You saw the look on his face. He's like, where the hell am I? How did I get here?
But Raj, his nickname is Stoner, by the way. So he always has that look. Even if he's playing local Chennai league, that's a different story. His nickname is Stoner.
Yeah, he looked stoned, to be honest. Beyond the point, he was looking stoned. So I mean, I think Bala, you're right, because I mean, as a choice, I would go with with Varun Chakravarti over Ashwin. But then you need somebody to sort of explain that, you know what, don't pull back your length, don't fall into that trap. And then the next match is against the Kiwis, who are excellent back foot players. So there you go.
Anyway, we'll keep our fingers crossed. We'll certainly come back and discuss that, hopefully in a better frame of mind, because we hope that India will be able to put it past the Kiwis. Thanks, Raj. Thanks, Jitendra. Thanks, Ravi.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Do keep watching us.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.